Magandang araw po sa inyo mga kabansa sa muli. Ito ay inyong likodado paglinawan na nagpupugay ng isang happy afternoon to all of you. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel at Ado Paglinawan. Ayan mga kabansa. Klinaro na ni Sara Duterte, ating pangalawang pangulo, na hindi naman daw niya sinabi, never did she say Marcos resign. Bakit nga naman niya sasabihin yun? Napakapangit naman dahil bilang Vice Presidente, pag nag-resign si Marcos, siya magmamana ng posisyon. At bilang isang matalino, bilang isang abogado, bilang isang sensitibo na politiko, hindi niya gagawin yun. She has good taste and she knows what respect means. But by the time the smoke clears, mga kabansa, only one will look like she is the real president. In the dying light of this administration, sabi ng isang vlogger, no? At dito, magme-mention tayo ng mga opinion ng mga vloggers. Because isang vlog sa isang linggo, iti-devote ko sa mga vloggers kung ano sinasabi ninyo. Kaya sumubaybay kayo rito, baka sakaling mabasa ang inyong mga komentary. In the dying light, sabi ni Teddy Adarna, of this administration, a strange inversion is unfolding. The vice president burns brighter than the president himself. The people smell blood and the clamor, Marcos resign, swells like thunder over the sea of betrayal. Hindi na po, mga kabansa, mabuburayan sa kamalayan ng Pilipino. Ganyan po talaga pag feeling na traidor ang sambayan. Sara Duterte has shed her old alliances. No longer is she a silent partner. She now stands at the voice of a nation betrayed by timidity. Her recent interview was not diplomacy, it was a detonation. Quote, it is the intent of President Marcos not to step down. He wants to perpetuate himself or his family in power. Unquote. Wala na po mga pasubali. Wala nang speed. Just a knife edge of truth. Duterte did not weaken me because it's one brand. It's one family. They think that if they take out former President Duterte, they will hurt me. In one line, she redrew the battlefield. This is no longer about cabinet squabbles or surveys. This is blood politics and survival. The Dutertes, long demonized, now reemerges the counter myth, discipline, iron-willed, and unafraid to name the emperor's naked. I have no ills with him. Wala raw siya masamang tinapay kay Bongbong. Talaga naman hindi naman siya nag-traidor, di ba? I have problems with his performance as president, and I have problems with the violation of our fundamental law, our Constitution, particularly with the rendition of former President Duterte. That was really an affront to Philippine sovereignty. Ito po mga issues ni Sara Duterte kay Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Wala raw siya masamang tinapay. Ang kanya raw problema ay yung performance, kawalan ng performance ng presidente. Ang violation ng fundamental law, ng ating konstitusyon, particularly doon sa kidnapping ng kanyang ama na nagsilbing dagok sa ating soberanya. Here she speaks. Each syllable drips with fire. Sovereignty sold, dignity auctioned. In her telling, the Marcos regime is not merely weak, it is treacherous. And if I may add, dangerous. While she struck again this time at the administration's anti-corruption campaign, her precision was surgical. Quote, the fight against corruption must go beyond flood control projects. Tama naman. Kasi siya naman ang una nagbukat talaga niyan eh. Yung corruption, yung mga insertions sa Department of Education, siya ay kalihim ng edukasyon. 5 million ang budget niya paglabas ng General Appropriations Act. 30, 25 bilyones. Wow! Ito ay sampal sa presidency. Drowning in its own public relations while Marcos mines for cameras, she speaks for the nation's exhaustion, the hunger, the rot, the feeling that no one is truly in control at the helm. And when she spoke of her father, hounded by the specter of International Criminal Court, her words were not merely filial, they were martial. Ano sabi niya? These so-called welfare checks are endangering him. Kaya kalahin mo mapadala pa si... Anong pangalan nun? Ha? Si Trillones. Pinadala pa rin ng gobyerno natin para check upin ang kalusugan ng Pangulo. Kundi naman matagal na mamamatay tao, mga kriminal itong mga hayop na nabubuno ngayon sa gobyerno natin. At nakatira dyan sa Malacanang, may mga demonyo raw dyan, may mga ahas daw dyan, sabi ni Maharlika. Sara Duterte cast the government not as protector but as predator. Now in the streets and digital trenches, the people whisper. She looks more presidential than the president himself. The Marcos Palace, once glowing with illusion, now flickers under siege, not by moths, not by mobs, but by momentum. By contrast, Sara's words have the cadence of command, the timbre of inevitability. Nabubulol na ako mga kabansa. Pasensya na kayo. Nagiging emotional ako eh. In a republic gasping for truth, the Vice President has drawn the line of fire, not with a call for resignation, but with a dare that cuts deeper. Magpa-Drugtest ka, Mr. President. With that single strike, Sara Duterte shattered the polite illusions of politics. Her challenge was not an insult, it was an X-ray of power. While the country trembles under the weight of corruption, inflation, and distrust, she reached into the marrow of the issue, credibility. I never said, Marcos resign. At sinabi ko nung una, magpa-drugs test ka lang. It was less a statement and more a counter, exposing the nerves of a presidency increasingly allergic to accountability. Pala mo naman kung sinong may integridad, masyadong sensitibo, wala naman transparency, at zero accountability. Huli na, mga kabansa, ayaw pang umamin. She reminded the nation that public office is not a throne, but a vow. The betrayal of public trust because you are president or vice president, you concentrate yourself to the service of the nation. Therefore, pag sinabi ng bayan, magpa-drug test ka, hindi ka pwedeng magsabi ng hindi. Every word was a stone hurled at hypocrisy. Every pause, a mirror held to a man surrounded by handlers and half-truths. For months, the administration brushed off criticism like dust, blaming floods on faith, poverty on patience, and discontent on trolls. But now the vice president herself has entered the arena, sword unsheathed, and the people are watching. In one breath, she dismantled the very defense that Marcos Jr. clings to, the illusion of dignity amid decline. Because in the theater of public trust, refusal is guilt's loudest echo. What Sara Duterte has done is not mere politics, it is symbolic war. The daughter of former president now challenges the son of a dictator not with rage, but with reason, not with threats, but with moral demand. It is the duel of dynasties, one forged in steel, the other wrapped in silk. And in this contrast, the people are beginning to remember what leadership once surrounded like raw, fearless, and accountable. As Marcos fumbles with excuses, Duterte's words ignite a dangerous clarity. That power without transparency is addiction itself. With no drug test can cleanse a conscience already intoxicated with privilege. In a nation drowning in stage smiles and state-approved denials, the vice president's voice breaks through like thunder. Kung wala kang tinatago, bakit ka matatakot? It is not just a question, it's a prophecy. And in the silence that follows, you can almost hear Malacanang's tremble. For months, the nation watched her simmer, measured, and restrained. But that restraint has burned away. What remains is a storm in human form, part daughter, part general, part president. Marcos has wealth, history, and machinery. But Sara has what power cannot fake, ferocity and support. And in times of decay, truth, even when spoken in fury, is leadership. In conclusion, gusto ko lang idagdag na para sa akin mga kabansa, natagpuan na natin ang ating Traore. Dahil si Sara Duterte ay isang colonel sa Philippine Army. Kayo mga sundalo, huwag na kayong maghanap ng leader. Eto na. Meron na kayong isang general. Meron na kayong isang presidente. Mas matatangin inyong commander-in-chief kesa sa isang bangag na walang silbi. Kundi magsinungaling lamang, magtago lamang ng kanyang krimen kasama ang kanyang malaswang pamilya na puro naman magnanakaw. Maraming salamat.